Hello, and welcome to Wise Woman Wednesday. I am your host, Arielle. I am so grateful to have everyone here. Early shout out to my Sue Finelli. I know you're working, and I so appreciate you for popping in the chat and just letting me know, and showing your support, even though you can't be here. And to anyone watching the replay, thanks so much. Whether you are watching with me live or you're watching the replay, I so appreciate your energy exchange. I appreciate you leaving a comment, liking, and letting me know what you think and what your thoughts are, what your experience is. Um, so I'm going to talk about the walk for peace. So if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock the last 109 days, there have been a dozen monks that have been walking from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. That is 2,300 miles that they have been walking. They walked through some severe weather, they walked through rain or shine, and they made it today. And I went and joined their meditation. They had like a meditation event to close out and signify, that they made it. And it was so amazing. There were at least 30,000 people watching online through Facebook, YouTube. People were in the crowds. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible to be a part of a movement for peace, to be able to watch them progress and how many people just came out to support them is so incredible. Hey, Mojo Shop, I see you in the chat. Much love. Thanks for joining in. I think that, the walk for peace, I mean, the name speaks for itself, right? And the head monk that's been leading it, he has been spreading this message for the last 109 days. I cannot imagine walking for 109 days. Like I get up and I go for walks, but I go for 2 mile walks, right? Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less, right? But let's say an average of 2 miles, and not even all the time every day, but to do miles and miles and miles for 109 days in the name of peace, in the name of mindfulness, in the name of awareness. I mean, that has just been so incredibly powerful. I have so enjoyed watching them. I wish that I had been closer when they were in South Carolina. I would have totally gone and stood on the side of the road and cheered them on. I it kind of ticked me off when people would give them flowers, because it's like, okay, yeah, I totally get that you want to do something kind. You want to give them something. But these men are walking hundreds and thousands of miles. They don't need to carry flowers. Like, I appreciated the people who gave them like fruit, lip balm, water, like practical things, but like the whole flowers kind of like, it was just like I was like, give them something better, right? I would have loved to like put down some cushions or something so that they could walk on something softer for a little while, but it is over. The meditation was so crazy. And just the thought, just the knowledge that 30,000 people were taking a moment to sit and be mindful and meditate at the same time. Like, can you imagine what it would be like if people all around the world did that all the time? If at least a minimum of 30,000 people was constantly meditating on not having resentment, not having conflict, not causing pain or danger, and having peace in the body and love and joy in the heart and the mind, not having mental suffering. Like, if we were always meditating on that and working towards that, we would have a completely different earth. We would have a completely different humanity. And it is just so inspiring to me, that whole thing. And I'm, you know, it's so crazy that it's finally over. They're not walking back, thankfully. They're taking, they're driving back to Fort Worth, Texas. So it's much quicker. They finally get to sleep in their own beds and everything. But that whole message has just been so touching to me. So I was doing that. I did that today, before the stream. So um, I wanted to touch on that before I dove into today's Wise Woman Wednesday. I've got my Love All Love tea here. So I'm just gonna set the tone. We always set the tone here, Wise Woman Wednesday. This is the time to ground into our body, to stay present, to be here now. So, if whatever you're doing, if you're busy, if you're multitasking, I get it. But we want to place our hands on our body somewhere, whether that's your heart, your stomach, your sacral area, and just breathe in fully, deeply, completely. Just fully inhale and fully exhale. Let it all out. Just feel that breath going into your nose, filling your lungs, the tingle of the oxygen as it energizes every single blood cell. And then as you release it, feel your body soften and relax and let go of all of the tension that you didn't even realize you were holding all day. This is now. There is nothing you need to do. There is no one you need to be. When your eyes are closed and you are in that moment with yourself, that is all you need to do. All right, guys. So, February. We're talking about February being the threshold that closes the dormant season. The dormant season is winter. And winter is the time where everything hibernates, right? And things die, close down. It's kind of barren. I feel like because of the way that society has situated the New Year celebration, right? We often treat February like it's something that we have to push through, because it's January is here, or has gone. Maybe you set a resolution, maybe you didn't, maybe you stuck with your resolution, maybe you didn't, and it's already February and you're like, I should be doing more, when in fact that is not the truth. That is not the case. February is still the time of gathering. It's still the time of re-energizing and recharging. It is still a time where we are not supposed to be pushing through anything. We are still gathering into ourselves. We are still looking into ourselves. We are preparing to emerge. We are preparing to push through or to take action. But right now is not actually the time to do that. I feel like, the energy kind of feels inconsistent. like motivation kind of gets quieter, right? And there is an urge to simplify, right? Even though we're told that we're supposed to be pushing through things, it really, underneath of it all, there is not that energy. There's no energy to push through anything. There's no energy to start anything or to take action on anything. We're still trying to examine, right? The world is the one that is all accelerating, but it's the body that is slowing down, you know? Um, and late winter is not, it's not empty. Dormancy doesn't mean empty. It means that it is preparing. Late winter is a crossing, is a threshold. Um, Dormancy has never meant collapse. It doesn't mean laziness. We're not talking about stagnation. We often get caught up in the failure to launch. We're not supposed to be launching anything. We're not supposed to be exhibiting any kind of force. We're still in a phase of rest, rehabilitation, recovery. That is what February is still, because February is still part of the winter dormant season. And it is the closing of that season. So, what does actually dormancy mean? Well, it's a recognition of yourself. It is a reorganization, an internal reorganization of self, of habits. You go inward and you look at things that happened, not with judgment, not with shame or guilt, but it's reflection, it's retrospection. We are supposed to be strengthening our structural strategies. We're supposed to be recalibrating so that we do better, right? So that we have the energy to move forward. That is still February. February is still a recalibration in order to have the energy to put into that action, to put into that audacity that we're feel like we should have right now, that motivation we feel like we should have right now. We're ramping up. We are building that energy within us. During the dormant season, let's talk about what happens in nature, right? The trees aren't producing leaves right now. The trees are silent. The trees are bare. The animals, are hibernating. They're reducing their output. They're not out there, gathering and building nests and stuff. They've already done that. They are enjoying the spoils of their labor, right? Because they have been preparing for this time to be a time of silence, to be a time of stillness, to be a time of rest. Nothing in nature appears to be doing more right now. Nature is still quiet. Dormancy is not only about resting, it's about preparing efficiently. Rest is the method, preparation is the purpose. So, the late part of the dormancy stage is different from the early part, right? So, in early winter, we have contraction. That's when we are actually just flopping into the bed. When you think about early winter, you think about, oh my gosh, you just flop into the bed, you've got your comfy blanket, and that's just the start of you becoming a winter burrito. Late winter is when we start taking inventory, is when we start saying, all right, you know, I'm not quite ready to get out from under my burrito blanket, but it is starting to get a little warm, and I'm starting to think about repositioning. I'm starting to think about what it would be like to not have my security blanket on, to not be in this burrito, you know. We are taking inventory about what stays in our life, what we want more of. We're taking inventory about the things that we want to shed, what we want to let go of. We're taking inventory about what has felt heavy and what no longer fits for the season ahead, for spring, the blossoming of spring. Nobody wants to be the same person. And honestly, no one is the same person, even if we do take our habits, our mindset into the next season with us. We are ever constantly changing. Um, and the thing that I want to make sure we land home is that preparation doesn't start with action. It starts with subtraction, actually. It starts with releasing that which is no longer necessary, right? So I mentioned on Friday that I was going to be doing a 10-day fast. And this is something that I'm doing as winter closes. I'm entering into, this personal preparation window. Um, this is a period of just simplification for me. Um, it's a time where I am observing what my body is ready to release. And I will be sharing what I notice, but I will be taking a step back. I'm not going to be as present or as performing in front of everyone, because that's that inner time for me to prepare my mind, my body, my spirit for to blossom, getting ready to blossom into even more than I expect myself or think of myself to be in the spring. Um, it's for me, fasting has always been a tool. Um, at first, when I first got into fasting, it was all about weight loss, and it was, just about my body and getting my body to look the way I wanted it to. Um, and then as I learned more about fasting, I just realized and understood the healing benefits of it. Um, Understood how it affects the spirit. I 100% believe that we live in a spiritual realm, and our bodies, this the physical that we can see, is such a minute fraction of what we actually are. And when we spend so much time on the physical, when our bodies are spending so much time trying to rebalance ourselves, when we eating, our bodies takes so much time to digest food. So our bodies, if you're eating 3 meals a day, are spending the majority of its energy digesting food. So there's no energy left, or there's very little energy left for mental calibration, for emotional stability, for the other things that we need our bodies to pay attention to, right? So, uh, hmm, hmm. So for me, this 10-day fast, it's about clearing, it's about reorienting, it's about making sure I start the next season on the right foot. Honestly, that's really what it is. So, I have a question for everyone here. So, if your body were preparing for something new, what would it be asking you to clear, not add? Because when we are preparing for the next phase, for the next season of our lives, we have to let go of something, right? When we go through a transition period, oftentimes it's uncomfortable. Fasting is uncomfortable, can be uncomfortable, especially at the beginning. But in order to grow, we have not only do we have to go through those growing pains, but we have to let something go. We have to clear room and make space for the new, for the next, for the highest. So, if your body were preparing, what would it be asking you to clear? Those are the questions that I want to leave with you guys tonight. I will be sharing more videos over the next couple of days about how I'm going to be preparing for this fast, things that I would need for this fast, who this fast is for, because everyone shouldn't and can't do extended fasts just any old time. Specifically for my women, um, women who are menstruating should not be fasting during certain times of their cycle. Women should only fast during days 1 through 10 of their cycle and through days 16 through 19 of their cycle. Because women have a 28-day cycle. You should be it it is so much easier to understand your body as a woman if you count the days and you have that charted out. If you are perimenopausal, premenopausal, postmenopausal, it is easier for you. You can jump into it at any time. However, I would still not recommend that anyone who has not been used to fasting or has not built a fasting lifestyle just jump into a 10-day fast. So it is very important that you, hey, Cami, good to see you, girl. Get your workout on, girl. Mm. So don't just jump into a fast. Fasting is a skill, it is a practice, it is something that you build up over time. Um, and everyone should be fasting for their right time. Now, men, my brothers, my fellas, y'all can fast anytime, however long you want. There's no restrictions for you. You can go ahead and jump in this fast with me if you want to or if you don't want to. For men, fasting for their bodies, specifically for their bodies, it can happen at any time. Now, fasting is a mental practice and preparation is key. I said earlier that preparation doesn't start with the action. It starts with the mental preparedness, right? So I'll be making videos about how I'm preparing mentally, the tools that I'm going to be using during the fast in order to help me continue the fast. Who are I'll go more into detail about who the whole 10 days, 16 days, all that stuff. There will be videos about that. Um, But February right now is the threshold. This is why I'm choosing to do this now before March gets here. I'm not just going to be like, oh, it's springtime now. Let's go ahead and jump into a fast. Let's prepare. Let's start now. Let during at the end of this closing of this dormant season, let's go ahead and recalibrate our bodies now. There's so many benefits to fasting, but I don't want to make this whole thing about fasting. I wanted to talk about the fact that February is the time where we are still ramping. um no, we're not supposed to be ramping up. We're supposed to be preparing, where we don't have the energy. So don't beat yourself up for not having the energy, for not keeping up to whatever resolutions you have, because seasonally, via the creator of the universe, we are still at the end of the phase where we're supposed to be taking our time and resting. So you might, have that inkling. Well, you might be ready. You might be itching. You might, be thinking that it's time, but not quite. Not quite. You still got some preparation to do before March comes. Hey, Carl. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing good. I'm just explaining how February is the closing of the dormant season. It's like a threshold, and a threshold is not where we were, and it's still not where we're going to be. It's that fine line in between where we've got one foot in and one foot out. And I feel like oftentimes people are beating themselves up for not being ramped up, for not being more active, for not, you know, keeping to their New Year's resolutions. People make jokes, and I know I've been making jokes too. It's like, don't go to the gym for the first 2 weeks of the year, right? Because by February, people will have dropped off, right? And the reason being is because February, January, December, those are not the times to be trying to push our bodies to do more, push our minds to do more. We are still in the period of rest. We're still in the period of re-energizing. And the end of February, so I will be doing a fast. I will be fasting from February 21, and then I will be breaking the fast on March 3. So that's 10 days. And I will send out, videos so you guys can see more about that. If anyone who wants to join me, I will have a temporary Telegram chat for us to do that. But that's some things that y'all can see when I make those videos. I feel like February is a time where people can still be depressed. It's still winter. It's the end of winter. So it's like people are kind of more antsy. You know what I mean? And I've been learning to let go of the lie that I should be doing more. Stop shooting on ourselves, right? We have got to be just understanding who we are, where we are, right? And not pushing ourselves and berating ourselves when the season is still about rest, re-energizing, introspection. We are preparing to move on to the next stage, or move on to the next season. But we're not there yet. We've still got one foot in the winter season. We're not quite ready to get out from underneath of those hibernation covers. But the time is coming. So we want to prepare for it. So for me, that's what this fast is looking like. And the benefits of fasting and going into a fast this long, when you're ready for it, it is a complete immune system reboot. You can detox parasites during this type of fast. You can reset your dopamine, reset your gut, just complete spiritual and mental clarity when you can push through, you know. Um, so that is my Wise Woman Wednesday tidbit, talking about the threshold of February and how we are still not ready to emerge. It is not time to bloom. There are winter things that bloom, but they bloom because it is their time to bloom. And if you haven't bloomed yet, there's nothing wrong with you. You are exactly in the right season that you should be in. This is the time where you should be dreaming about blooming. You should be preparing and understanding what is it that you need to let go of in order for you to bloom brighter, stronger, and better next season. Another thing that I want to mention is that seasons are not linear. Just like time is not linear, it's all a spiral. It is, the gradient color. So, those like tie dye colors or gradient colors that mix into each other. You can't really tell where one begins and one ends because they kind of, if you've got blue and red, you there's purple and pink in there somewhere. You don't really know where the blue ends and the red begins, right? So there is no real cutoff date for the winter season, for the dormant season, and there's no real start date, for the spring season. Even though we oftentimes try to give it those dates, and astrologically we can see when the sun gets to this area, and there's eclipses and there's equinoxes and such and so forth that mark the seasons for us, because that's what the luminaries do. The sun, the moon, the stars, the other luminaries, the other wandering stars, which are planets, they mark the signs, the times, the seasons, the days for us. That's what they do. So when astrologically, yes, we can see, all right, we are starting into getting into the season. However, it is tie-dye. We can't really tell. And every human brings their own flavor, brings their own perspective, has their own timing, right? So what a beautiful time to be alive, y'all. So I didn't have a presentation for y'all. Not with, and I will be back. I will give more information, next week, because next Saturday is the day that I'm going to be starting this. So we'll probably be talking about it more. This coming Free Speak Friday is my birthday bash. We're going to be having a birthday bash, and I am so excited to share my early birthday present from Tommy That Flat Fellow. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to tell you now. You just have to tune in to Friday at 11:11 to join the dance party for my birthday bash so that I can share this amazing birthday gift I got. And of course, I'll be here next Wednesday. But if you have any questions for me tonight, make sure that you're putting 3 question marks in the beginning of your question so that I know you're talking to me and that you have an actual relevant question related to the topic tonight. Otherwise, if there's no questions or comments about it, leave your comments for me in the comment section after the live is over. I love to hear from you, hear what your thoughts are. I love to hear your experiences. Tonight's question was asking you what if you're getting ready for something new, if your body is getting ready to go into this new spring season, what would it be asking you to let go of or release before you get there? So go ahead and make sure you put your answers in the comments, or you can put your answers in the chat if you are still here. I see Carl. Oh, Carl, I need to give you a wrench, bro. Give me a second. Let's get you a wrench. We're all friends here. Yay. All right. There we go. I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you are taking time to be mindful, that you are taking time to breathe, and remember that whatever pressure you feel is not the real you, that whatever obligations you have don't make up who you are, that even if everything is not going your way, that you are still valuable, that you are still valued, that you still have something to give, and that you have something to receive. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to drop into this Wise Woman Wednesday. Feel into your body, breathe into your body. Remember that you are more than your body. You are more than you suppose yourself to be. Angela Baby Carson. Hey, girl. I hope you're having a good day. I was just about to wrap up here because otherwise I'm just going to start repeating myself and I don't want to sound like a broken record. I can't tell. The surprise is on Friday. The surprise is on my birthday bash. On Friday at 11. You gotta tune in. You gotta tune in. It's a surprise. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be so awesome. You're gonna have to tune in. I still don't know what I'm gonna do for my birthday otherwise. John is in the house now. Hey, girl. Did another live just end? Do I start my lives during something else? Oh, no worry, baby Carson. Naps are so delectable. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, feel free to tune into the replay. I these lives aren't long. I come, I have a message, I share it, and and that's not much. Oh, Emily Moyer, yes, love her, or I used to love her. I haven't not kept up with her in a long time, but I know who she is. I know who she is. Does she go live every Wednesday at the same time? There's just no way for me to not be live when someone else is live. If I kept doing that, if I tried to do that all the time, I would literally never go live. So what works for me works for me. But I might go a little bit later if because I know I've got a lot of people on the Pacific time, so they're still not out of work yet until like 8:30, 5:30 their time, 8:30 my time. So maybe I'll push it back another hour or so, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to be here late. I don't want to I want to wait until like the kitties are in bed. Oh, thank you, Angela. You know I love you too. um, Try to make it easy for people to tune in. Um, yeah, you got a shiny forehead today. No, I don't really watch much YouTube anymore either, Angie. Um, I scroll a lot, and I catch myself because I understood. I learned that the psychology, especially for women, like the scrolling, that gesture of the finger moving is super relaxing to us. So it's something that I have to catch myself. It's like, no, am I actually paying attention, or am I just scrolling? And a lot of times I'm just scrolling. And I want to find things to watch that are like engaging and like I want to learn. I'm it's not the same like it was. Of course, Carl. Love you, bro. Oh, a podcast called Words, huh, Jana? That sounds interesting. Did she go into like the etymology of stuff? Yeah, I'm about that life. Sounds like fun. It's raining here in Myrtle Beach. Or it was raining. It might have stopped now. I don't actually hear it now. But it's supposed to rain on my birthday, but that's okay. I'm not sugar, so I won't melt. Yay, I'm excited for my birthday surprise too, Jana. Just wait. Hey, Big Sis is in the house. Big Sis's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. It's Shelly's birthday. Tomorrow's her birthday. Get some clay for the touch stimulation. It can be miraculous. Big Sis, I wish I could go to the zoo with you guys. It sounds like it's going to be fun. I hope you have a wonderful trip. Hey, Jenny. Oh, I see what you're saying, Jana. Instead of scrolling, play with clay. Oh, yes. That's a good one. So that your hands are doing something. I see what you're saying. Girl, because you know I was wondering. You guys, all who are tuning in now, definitely please go back and check the replay, start at the beginning, and let me know what your thoughts are about the threshold, winter threshold that I was talking about. I also talked about the Walk of Peace. You guys know that the Walk of Peace ended today. The Walk for Peace, the dozen or so monks that walked from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C., 2,300 miles. Whew. They ended it with a meditation. And I tuned in, and it was like 30,000 people online tuning in to do this meditation. And yeah, just talked about that a little bit. I'm glad it's going to be a nice day. Big sis, you deserve it. A big day at the Oh, Jenny, guess what? You are the Lady Logos. Lady Logos or Lagos, however you're supposed to say it. That's I figured that out. Lady Lagos. Yeah, Jonna, seriously. And there's like a delay for when I can see it to when you guys actually type it in. There's that too. Yep, they did make it there, Shelly. They did. They It's just mind blowing. It really touched me to the core of my soul, just the whole mindfulness thing. And the head monk kept saying our lovers were our phones, and that hit to the core as well. It's like, oh my gosh. Like literally, I act like my phone is my lover. I take it with me everywhere, and it's something I want to get away from. Oh, good, Jenny. I'm glad you like it. Oh, good. Yes. Oh, your designs are so beautiful, girl. You listen, y'all. I don't have anything else to say or talk about, so I'm not trying to take up people's time or nothing. um, but I will be back on Friday. So those of you who can join me for my birthday bash, I'll be able to show you guys my early birthday present surprise. I'm so excited for that. 11 a.m. And look forward to more videos coming out for me talking about the end of the dormant season fast that I'm going to be doing, things that I'm going to be doing to prepare for a long 10-day fast, who I believe can do this fast at this time, and things like that. And then I'll be back on Wednesday again. I think I might need to make this a little bit later, maybe at least 8 o'clock or so, because I think more people will come. If I leave my house without my phone, I feel like I'm hiding out. We should not be that easy to locate. I know, right? Seriously. Thank you, big sis. Thank you. You know I'm still gonna call you, so don't worry. You just got a little early birthday song. All right, y'all. But I love you, Mojo Shop. I love you. Thank you, Sue. I know Sue's gonna watch, and everyone who popped in. Carl was here, and Jonna, Angie was here. Jenny. I know Cammie was listening in the background while she's being a gangster and working out. Jonna, I'm totally taking that, putting that clay thing in the back of my mind. I probably could get one of those balls too, but a clay would be better to, like, you could make something out of it, right? Thank you, girl, for the happy birthday, early birthday. I appreciate it. I hope I see you guys on Friday so I can share my birthday gift with you. All right, guys. I'm gonna peace out. I'll